Hello and welcome back to the Monsters of Monster Hunter Double Cross, where today we're going to be playing with Duramboros, who I rather enjoy, because Duramboros is basically a reverse Uragon. Is it here where we'll find it? It might be in G3. Yeah, it looks like it. Or not. Where's the Hyper Duramboros? I want to do a Hyper one. Well, regular Duramboros is right there, so Hyper Duramboros would have to be in G4. Or maybe I have to do regular Duramboros first. That would make some sense. Yeah, looks like I gotta do regular Duramboros first. I guess I haven't fought a G-rank Duramboros by itself yet. We're using Aerial Hammer for this. Mainly because Duramboros is big. And also since you can get its tail removed with either a hammer or a cut weapon, hammering is kind of fun. It's the only monster where that's actually the case. And hey, let's get Carver High, why not? Because the game won't let us, that's why not. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, I need to buy more whetstones at some point in the near future. But yes, Duramboros. There's a reason I say it's basically reverse Uragon. The thing is, they both have a big, heavy, stony part of them that they slam onto the ground. But on Uragon, it's on the front, and on Duramboros, it's on the back. But it doesn't stop there. For their special means of locomotion, Uragon rolls forward like with a vertical axis. But Duramboros spins horizontally. And while Uragon rolls forward, Duramboros launches itself into the air. So it's basically just take everything about Uragon and flip it, and you've got Duramboros. Also, where Uragon lives in volcanoes and other hot environments where plants cannot live, Duramboros is all about plants, and while Uragon eats rocks, Duramboros eats plants. So we've just got all kinds of things where Duramboros is basically positioned to be the opposite of Uragon. And I know I could be hitting the humps right now, but I'm aerial style. So hitting the humps isn't that hard. Plus, we want this to last at least a little while. Ow. So, fun fact, it's an auto stun if you get landed on like that. Oh, hey. There's a little river there. A rivulet. I've got Tremor Res right now. Hence my lack of tremoring. And Duramboros is a pretty neat monster. It was introduced in Portable Third. And like, it's got a lot of stuff going on for it that no other monsters do. Like its particular brand of tail slams. They are not shared by any other monster. And what's not unique to Duramboros is basically shared with Devil Joe. In fact, Duramboros is the monster that made it so that Devil Joe's sweeping bites were no longer unique to Joe. Which is kind of interesting. That an herbivore stole the unique thing from a hyper carnivore. Because Duramboros is an herbivore. He likes to eat from fallen logs. Also, I say it, but Duramboros is one of those monsters where we can be sure of the gender of the ones we fight. We fight the males, whereas the females live in herds, protecting their young. Another parallel between Duramboros and Uragon, both of them are mineable. Uragon, you mine its belly or back, depending. And Duramboros, you mine its tail. And Duramboros is one of, I think, 2 brute wyverns who cannot be knocked down from leg flinches. The other being Glavenus. Bracky can't while raging, but when not raging it can. As we've seen in a previous episode. In fact, that was just the last episode. Wow. I'm just repeatedly taking it in the face here. Feel like the Duramboros learned my strategy. Which honestly isn't that hard to learn. We're going to go ahead and let him do all his spinning here instead of trying to knock him down. So I am going to get in here just to encourage him to throw himself into the air. Because I want to mine that tail. So, okay. I see how it is. He's tired. Always nice to land a full spinning meteor on a monster that isn't actually incapacitated. Means you used your time efficiently. And your move as well. Alright, have fun knocking yourself over. When he's tired, he will always knock himself over when doing that. Otherwise, you gotta hit him in the legs, or you need to flash him. Though in my experience, the flashes don't work when he's raging. But if he's not raging, you can knock him over with a well-timed flash during the spin. Ooh, yes. Please send yourself up. Thank you. Admittedly, not the greatest carve we could have gotten. But it's something. And up he goes. And there's that. Proof that a hammer can sever Duramboros' tail. Though sever isn't exactly the right word. You just knock the rocky portion off the back of it. Because you'll note, the whole tail is still there. Alright, let's see if we can't flash him for this one. There we go. So yeah, that's how that's done. Looks like he actually is enraged. So I guess it just has to be well-timed. Ow. Yep, just has to be well-timed. Oh. Flinching them on the first hit is terrible. Because then you just gotta sit there and watch yourself miss for the rest of the time. Oh, yeah, good job, Cat. Putting a trap down right as the monster is leaving. Though admittedly, Duramboros is slightly harder to tell when it's leaving than other monsters. Because it'll turn its back to you in order to continue attacking, whereas most other monsters only turn their back to you if they're trying to leave. I'm pretty sure Duramboros is the only monster who regularly walks backwards. Another difference between Duramboros and Uragon. Uragon's covered in rocks. Duramboros is covered in plants. They wear what they eat, which is kind of interesting. Thanks, Bullfango. Seriously, you're leaving again? You weren't here very long. But I guess that means we can use the trap. Oh, are you getting a snack? Is that what you're doing? Looks like it. Tasty, isn't it? Ow. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy over into the trap. And that was a leg flinch. Good job, cats, I guess. And you'll note the Duramboros was poisoned earlier. That's because my cats are both still using poison weapons. I don't really see that much need to swap them. Ooh, and Duramboros got tired. Which means this trap's gonna last a while. There's what I wanted to see. Oh, hi, Joe. We'll just hide behind this Duramboros. Before Duramboros, Devil Joe was the uncontested largest brute. But now there's some competition between the two of them. Duramboros is definitely bulkier, so I think Devil Joe can get longer. Sorry, Joe, this isn't your day. You've already had your time in the spotlight. We're talking about Duramboros. As much as I appreciate Duramboros, I think I like Uragon better. Better sound design. I personally prefer the look. Though Duramboros does have some neat things going for it. I really want to see it launch itself into the air from a distance here so that I can get some really nice footage of that. But that'll require it to launch itself into the distance, or into the air from a distance. I mean, hey, we got that. That's not terrible. By the way, if you're using a hammer, if memory serves, the weakest part on the Duramboros is the long part of the tail, not the tip of it with the big beat stick, but what that's attached to. Like between that bulbous tip and the body is where you can do the most damage. That's only if memory serves. Alright, let's see if maybe it throws itself into the air for the cats. Hopefully these Alteroths don't decide to be super jerks. They already were pretty jerky. Nope, that's not throwing yourself into the air. You disappoint me, Duramboros. Thanks for the defense down, Alteroths. Buddy, you're limping right to where we saw Joe. Is that really the smartest plan? Oh good, Joe's not here anymore. Oh hey, got several hits without taking any. Could be worse. There's a reason I don't usually try and get out from this attack. It's much harder to get out than to get in. Of course, with Duramboros being here, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Rust Duramboros, a monster that has only existed in Monster Hunter Tri. Or not Tri, 3U. That one. And, yeah, it was a thing. There was a quest with a giant one, which was kind of fun, just because it was so giant. But Rust Duramboros, basically, instead of doing tremors on its big tail slams, would instead, for the area that would have been tremored by a regular Duramboros, instead caused you to get launched up into the air and take damage, of course. And it would like do some tail sweeps, and if you didn't get hit by the tail itself, you would get covered in mud, which really sucked. And also the fact that the thing was kind of a ruddy brown instead of having all this vegetation on it to kind of break up the color scheme. I wasn't a huge fan of that. Regular Duramboros, in my opinion, was a more fun fight and looks better. So, yeah. It's an easier fight, but doesn't matter if it's easy as long as it's fun. Oh, hi. Got a little lateral distance on that one, did you? There we go. So, the vegetation texture, in my eyes, is not that great, at least not close up. And the shell texture on the humps gets a little stretchy, and the broken humps just, eh. Oh, hi, Joe. Down here on the tail is pretty okay. The bottom of the tail is pretty alright, and like, the legs, as usual for most monsters, are pretty alright. Wish we could get a better look at the face here. But the face and horns are pretty okay as well. Duramboros is a pretty alright looking monster. Not my favorite, but pretty alright. And the fight's decently fun too. And it does a lot of unique things. And oh boy, does it give you large wyvern gems. And that is going to be it for this episode. Join us next time when we take on one of my favorite monsters, Brachydios. See you then, friends.